Good morning, Inspiring Illuminators. It is me, Jennifer Engel, CEO and founder of Inspire and Illuminate, which is me working on party planning for the book launch, which, that's going to be part of my talk today about persistence and patience. We will set a date, but we're having a little technical difficulties with the publishing part, minor things. So once that gets fixed, we'll officially set the date. But that's not what I came to talk about today. A lot of times now what I'm doing is I've always done this. Not always, but for many years. I'll wake up at 3 in the morning and I'll reflect. It's a good daily habit to do, especially in the quiet of the morning, about the past 24 hours. And just recently, I've used that reflection not just about myself, but with others, not just what is going on with me, but what I seem to be a pattern with me and or others. And so in the past 24 hours, there seemed to be an energy that came through at least this Chicago suburbs and the people around me, which was people were I was especially, just exhausted yesterday for no good reason. My son was tired, some of my friends were tired, and so that's where my quote came from today. Sometimes the universe kind of lays our butts down, because when we are go, go, go all the time, we don't have time to feel certain emotions. We sometimes use busyness as another way not to feel some emotions or look at some things in our lives that might be holding us back. And so the universe might send in this wave of energy that tells us to slow down so that we can look at and feel the things that have been holding us back. So that was my quote yesterday. And so then my Jaunt with Jen is going to be about getting comfortable in the uncomfortable, because that's where change and growth happens. Now there are 2 ways we can do this. Number 1 could be do it ourselves by taking on a new hobby or agreeing to participate in new experiences that might make us a little bit uncomfortable, that we're not used to. Going new places, trying new foods, right? Meeting new people. And then the other way seems to be what happened, at least around us, me, whatever, my friends, some of my family, yesterday, which is the universe kind of forces us down to create some outside pressure to get us to change and grow. Because part of it is to let go, which was also part of my quote today, of the things that are not serving us, to let go of some of the things that are holding us down and holding us back, so that like a bow and arrow, when we pull back and we let go of those things, we can be propelled forward. And so, when you're down for the count, that should be a time to reflect, meditate, get a little quiet, feel, here is some sadness coming up to the surface. We don't like to do that, right? We like to numb that. We like to not feel those things. But it has been my understanding and experience that we have to feel those things Because our feelings are there to show us things that we might not want to look at. Things that we put into our subconscious that are holding us down and back. So the universe kind of throws us down, and then when we get quiet, we go, ooh, here's this uncomfortable feeling coming on up. Now, instead of trying to numb it, avoid it, be distracted so you can't feel it, be brave. Say, okay, I don't like this. It doesn't feel good, but hey, sadness, what are you here to teach me? Anger, what are you here to teach me? You know? Jealousy, what are you here to teach me? Low self-confidence, low self-esteem, what are you here to teach me? What should I do different? Because then once you actually see them and acknowledge them and let them flow out your physical body, then you can say, oh, okay, thanks. That was really hard. It's really kind of painful, but now fear, I'm going to turn you into courage. Now guilt, I can work on accepting myself a little bit more. Low self-confidence, I can work on building my self-confidence. Anger, I can work on jealousy. I can work on changing you into compassion. I have a difficult time expressing how I'm feeling to others and how they could help me better. All right, I'm going to work on communication. I have a hard time seeing things clearly. Okay, I might use my own perception, but then ask others around me if they perceive the same thing. Okay, so these are things that we need to work on. Getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. So, during these down days, we're shown these patterns, these habits that are holding us back. But how do you clear them? How do you make the uncomfortable more comfortable? You know, I keep saying the same things over and over if you keep listening to me, because these are the things that I have found consistently help me move from uncomfortability to comfortable, from being held back to being pushed forward, from being in the mud to finding myself in the miracle. Okay? So the first thing is mindfulness. Recognize that feeling, honor it. Ooh, anger, I see you. Okay, I'm gonna feel you, I'm gonna let it go through. Ooh, sadness, disappointment. Ooh, okay, I see you. I'm mindful, I see you. So the first thing is just recognizing it and feeling it and not trying to numb it. And then reflect upon it. Just like what I was saying. Ooh, fear, what are you trying to tell me? Ooh, sadness. What do I not like? What am I disappointed in? Oh, low self-esteem. Why do I feel this way? What can I do about it to feel differently? Ooh, jealousy. What do I feel that I don't have that others have? And why do I feel like I can't get it when I probably can? How can I get it so I don't feel jealous? Ooh, communication. Why do I feel like I can't go talk to this person about, something in our relationship that is holding us back? Okay? So the first is to recognize it. And then the second thing is to reflect upon it. Like, look in the mirror. What are you trying to show me? And then, see if you can visualize or understand what to do. And if you don't know what to do, we got Google. What are some ways to? You can find a model, a role model, who's doing what you want to do, and then mimic their patterns, their behaviors, their habits. Okay. Sometimes if you get quiet, but this requires no blocks and being open, ask your higher self, ask the universe. It will tell you. But some people have blocks. They don't believe the universe will answer their questions, so they might not be able to hear the answer. But again, that's why we have Google, and that's why we have role models. Okay, so the first step is to allow, be mindful. Oop, here it comes my emotion. What is it trying to show me? The second step is to reflect, really look at it. Don't try to turn away. Don't try to numb it. Don't try to ignore it. And then the third step is to try to find the solution. Okay, either through Google, so or through finding a role model who has something, some skills, some habits that you can incorporate into your life. Sometimes it comes through communication. Like, you could talk to someone else and you could say, here's what I'm feeling. I know why I'm feeling it, or I don't know why I'm feeling it. Sometimes an outside perspective. Sometimes other people can know us a little bit better than we know ourselves, right? Hey, I'm feeling this. You know me pretty well. Why do you think I'm feeling this? Do you have any tips or suggestions? Okay? So again, when we feel uncomfortable, we're supposed to allow the uncomfortability to come up. We don't try to numb it. We don't try to ignore it. We don't try to run away from it. It hurts. It doesn't feel good. But if you think about it, that's how things grow in the natural world too. A lot of times I like to think of it as like a seed. We're like these seeds in this protective package. And we could stay in our protective package as long as we want. But then you know what else we do? We stay small. And we aren't meant to be small. We're meant to grow. We're meant to survive and thrive. And so you are basically saying, I'm willing to be put in the uncomfortability, into the darkness, into the dirt, in with the creepies and crawlies, and the pressure from the outside, which is actually, if you think about it, things that we need. So for example, water seeps down into the darkness. Water on a more spiritual vibrational level represents memory. And our memory can teach us things we want and things we want to avoid. So it can help us. It nourishes our soul. It also represents emotions and how our emotions can help guide us. And we might not be able to feel it down in the darkness, but light, warmth represents knowledge. And we know it's out there. We just have to reach for it. And if you don't reach, you won't find. That's why we grow roots in our past memories in the soil, because our memories, good or bad, teach us what we do want and what we don't want, what we should avoid and what we should take more of into our lives. So we grow roots into the soil, into our memories, into our emotions, but we push to become higher, past the darkness, past the creepy crawlies, by looking for knowledge, by looking for light that will continue to help us grow, thrive, and flourish. Through Google, through finding a model or a mentor, seek and you shall find. Okay? So the negative emotion comes up and you go, ooh, okay, I'm going to grow roots. I'm going to hold myself down in my memories and in my emotions because they're here to teach me something. That's another thing. Script flip. A lot of times people think that their negative emotions are there to hurt or destroy them. It's not true. I mean, it can, but it doesn't have to be. It's a choice. You can literally use your negative emotions to say, okay, I know you're not here to hurt me. You're here to teach me, so teach. Okay? And it is painful. I'm not going to lie. It's uncomfortable, kind of like a workout, right? I just did a workout yesterday. I worked out my legs. And I've been taking walks all year, but I got uncomfortable. I exercise some parts of the muscle that don't get exercised when I take walks. And I'm feeling it, man. You know, the muscle breaks down in order to build up. So say, okay, I'm ready to take on the sorrow. I'm ready to take on the anger. I'm ready to take on the jealousy. I know you're not meant to hurt me. It will hurt, but you're not meant to. It's meant to teach me a lesson and make me stronger. Script flip. Remind yourself what the pain, what the sorrow, what the anger is there to teach you. You know, see it more like going to the gym rather than it's something there to just kick your ass. Okay? Look at it more positively. Script flip it. That's visualization, which is another thing that we do to get comfortable in the uncomfortable. So another thing that I do when I'm in the gym is I will go to my third eye spot in the middle of my forehead, my imagination. And I do this through my music playlist. And it just motivates me. Motivates me through the pain, motivates me through the uncomfortability. Okay? I do this when I'm doing something that isn't painful, but that might be boring and monotonous. Doing dishes. I listen to my music playlist, and then I go to like my imagination spot, and I'm in a happier place while I'm doing the boring, monotonous things. I've done this since I was a child. You know, I was a sick child, and during the height of my sickness and pain, at night when I would go to bed, I would imagine these creatures around me taking me to beautiful places. So visualization, imagination, that's another thing that can get you through the uncomfortableness. And if you're not a dreamer or a visualizer, you do have good memories. And they are perfectly protected in some part of your subconscious. So even if you don't have like a good imagination, you do have good memories. So when you're going through the uncomfortable things, your mind can tap into, take you on a mini vacation that does help alleviate and make getting through the uncomfortableness more comfortable. Okay? All right, so step one, ooh, here comes a feeling. It's not comfortable. Try to see it more positively. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but teach me what you got to teach. Right? Come on, coach. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. And then allow it to come through. Reflect. Okay, it's coming up. What is coming up? And then visualize, ask what you can do differently. So, and thank it, give it gratitude. Okay, that was done, thanks. That was a good workout. Look at feelings like a workout. You know, we take showers every day. We brush our teeth every day. Many of us go work out. Well, we need to do that with our subconscious, with our minds, with our emotions. We need to clean them up. Just like we clean up our physical bodies, we need to clean up our minds and our emotions. Well, okay, we clean up our minds through our emotions, through mindfulness. Ooh, I see you. You know, a lot of times if we have dirt on our body or a little BO or whatever, dirt on our countertops in our homes, in our cars, wherever, we don't say, oh my God, I fucking hate you, you're awful. You know, we might be a little annoyed. It's kind of annoying to clean it up, but I gotta do it. You know, that's what we can think about our emotions and our negative thoughts. We can go, oh, okay. We can make it as dramatic or as routine and simple as we want to. It's a choice. You know, when I was first doing this, it was pretty traumatic. But with practice and patience and applying the cure, now it's just more like, okay. It's just like brushing my teeth. Now some days, you know, there's more of a cleanup than others. And that's okay. But for the most part, it's just like brushing my teeth now. Brushing my mind, cleaning my mind, reorganizing my emotions, my subconscious. Okay. So again, the steps for getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. Feel it, see it, recognize it, ask, what are you there to teach me? Okay, that's the mindfulness. That's the reflection. The meditation is, okay, what's the solution? What's the answer? And if you're open, you can hear it from the universe. And if you're a little bit more closed, which is fine, no judgment, you can Google, you can find a mentor, okay? And then the visualization is when you're going through it, you're gonna view it more like a workout, more like brushing your teeth, right? You're gonna take these mini mental vacations in your mind to good places and spaces while you're going through the uncomfortable ones. Then the final step is to create actions. Learn how you can overcome, learn what habits you can incorporate, and a lot of times you don't even need to Google that shit. A lot of times it's just the opposite of what you're doing, right? For example, I haven't been feeling very good, and I will admit, summer's been here. Maybe I've been drinking a little bit more. Maybe my liver, my stomach didn't like it. Oh, okay, in order to feel better, stop drinking. Got it. And there's a big social pressure to drink when you go out. And so visualize a good solution. Fake it till you make it. Sometimes I like Moscow mules. We'll get the ginger beer, which is non-alcoholic, and the lime juice, and there you go. Have a kiddie cocktail instead of a real cocktail, right? Or, I've been feeling really fat and overweight. I haven't really been getting cardio in, good cardio, and I haven't really been doing weights. All right, increase the cardio, do the weights. So a lot of times you might not even need to Google the solution or find a mentor. You just need to do the opposite of what you have been doing. And then you need to plan. You need to literally incorporate that new habit and goal into your life, in your schedule. I have like a little notes app on my phone, and I say, this is what I do at this time, this time, this time, this time, this time. And I have found that creating healthy daily habits is another thing that really gets me through difficult moments. Because when I was recovering from cancer and things like that, you're on autopilot. You don't have to think about it. This is what I always do. So if I get up and I have had really hard emotional days, there are some times where my body doesn't digest food very well and it affects me mentally and I don't feel like I can choose the right thing. But because I've put my mind and my body on autopilot, it's like I don't have to choose. It's just on autopilot. And I found during those really, really difficult days, if I just can coach myself to put my feet on the floor and to start those 3 to 5 morning habits, then I start to gain momentum. I literally can kind of start changing my thought pattern. I can still use my strategies of taking mini mental vacations while I'm going through the difficult, monotonous stuff. So that's how I get through the really hard times. You know, some people might see me as like this white girl living in suburbia. What problems would she have? But behind closed doors, we all have problems. We all struggle. We all have days here and there where it's difficult to get out of bed. But if you put these things on autopilot, and if you incorporate these strategies, I'm not going to promise you're always going to get comfortable in the uncomfortable, but at least you can get through the uncomfortable. And if you can get through it, now you're on a path to get past it so much more quickly. Okay? So the first step is mindfulness and reflection. Ooh, here it comes. I feel it. What are you here to teach me, teach? What are you here to teach me, coach? The second thing is to listen for the answer. And if you can't hear it, use logic. All right, well, I'm uncomfortable about this. I've been doing this negative pattern. Guess I gotta do the opposite. Or, you know, Google it, find a mentor. And then create a plan and a schedule and start putting your plan into action. Take those, develop those top 3 to 5 daily habits that you put on autopilot, and actually schedule it in your day. And sometimes it does help to have a partner that you're accountable for, having an accountability partner where you find someone who wants to work on the same goal as you. Or at a bare minimum, you post your progress on Facebook. That's why a lot of people do that, because they feel like they develop a following and they need to, you know, be accountable to their followers. Even if you don't want to do it on social media, find a friend. Phone a friend, right? That was like in one of the game shows. Phone a friend that you're accountable for. And then the last step is to reflect again and to use the questions that I constantly ask people to ask themselves. How did this new pattern, this new behavior, this new habit make me feel in the moment? Sorry, I literally had a microphone drop there, but I wasn't ready to microphone drop yet. How did it make me feel in the moment? And how did it make me feel over time? Did it take away my energy in the moment and over time? Sometimes like exercising, right? It might take away our energy for a little bit in the moment, but then over time it might actually give us more energy. So those are things to think about. How did it make me feel in the moment and over time? Maybe in the moment you're like, God, I hate this sucks. But then when you're done, you're like, hey, I did that, I'm good. Look at me, I'm losing weight, I'm gaining muscle. So, but there are habits and things that can make us feel good in the moment, but feel like shit over time. So think about the over time more than the in the moment. And Did it give you more energy or less energy, positive emotions or negative? Again, think about it over time more than in the moment. And then, as a bonus, this isn't necessary, but something to consider, not only did how it make you feel in the moment and over time, but how do your changes make the people around you feel being around you, making these changes in the moment and over time? That's like a bonus, okay? Because a lot of times when we change our habits, the people around us see it, because we're happy, we're more energetic, and then we become like raindrops in a pond. That shit spreads, right? And now, not only are we having a positive impact on ourselves, but we're also having a positive impact on those around us. And I have found, just by focusing on myself, just by tuning up myself, it's like a tuning fork. If you hit a tuning fork, if you strike a piano key, strum a guitar string, the string next to it, the tuning fork next to it starts to automatically tune as well. It's almost like magic. Our brains and our hearts are literally electromagnetic organisms. They literally send out an electromagnetic signal. And so if you're changing for the better, then guess what? The people around you are going to change for the better as well. But the opposite can also be true too. So take that into consideration. All right. Again, this is what teachers do. We repeat it, we drill it. When you get uncomfortable, when you get tired, when you feel a negative emotion, you go, whoa, okay, instead of trying to numb you, instead of trying to ignore you, I'm gonna feel you. What are you here to teach me? Okay, now what can I do about it? A lot of times it's the opposite of what you're doing now. You Google it, you find a mentor, you look for the light, you look for the learning on how to change it. Then you go, okay, got you, Captain. Now I'm going to put in some patterns into my life. I'm going to schedule it. And you actually make it a daily habit. And it's okay, forgive yourself if you don't follow through on day 2 or 3 or 6 or 7. Start again. One of my favorite quotes or whatever a friend of mine told me a long time ago, if you spill a little milk on the counter or whatever, put in your own drink, liquid, food spill, whatever, you don't say fuck it and just spill the rest of the gallon on the counter. No, you put the container back in its upright position and go, oh, okay, it's just a little spill. Okay, forgive yourself and move on. But patterns do take time to become habits. So I believe there's like a quote out there, 21 days, 30 days. The number probably varies based on the person. 5 to 6 weeks is another time frame. So give yourself a while to make it a habit and be patient with yourself. Okay? And then once you actually put that pattern and that habit in place, daily, weekly, monthly, at the end of your goal, probably all those times, reflect. How is this making me feel in the moment? How's this making me feel over time? Is it making me more functional or less functional? Is it making me happy and content and feeling good about myself? Or is it making me unhappy, less functional, and bad about myself? Okay, is it giving me more energy or less energy over time? And if the answer is less, not good, then again, the last step is, does this new pattern, habit, that I put in place, Does it need a tune-up where I just need to fix just a little something? You know, like maybe I need to work out from home instead of in the gym, or vice versa. Or maybe I need to get an accountability partner. Okay, tune it up. A small fix you can make yourself. Or does it need a timeout? Ooh, you know what? Let me press pause for a minute and do a little bit more reflecting to see if this is working for me or not. Does it need an overhaul? All right, whatever I'm doing myself isn't working. I need to bring someone else in to help me. Whether it's a doctor, a trainer, a counselor, a psychiatrist, a nutritionist, a couple of friends. Okay, so that's an overhaul. Okay, whatever I'm doing isn't working, so I need to get some people to help me. Okay? And again, you can take a timeout. And then it's like, okay, I did the tune-up. I did the overhaul. This thing still ain't working. Scrap that. Let me try something else. That's the trade-in, right? So again, I'm going to review the steps one more time. Getting comfortable in the uncomfortable, or at least bare minimum, getting through the uncomfortable. Feel it. Don't try to ignore it. Don't try to numb it. Don't try to run away from it. Flip the script. See it as a teacher, a coach, a trainer. Oh, okay. Show me what I need to learn here. It's going to be uncomfortable, but we got this. Okay? Listen to the lesson and find the cure, the script flip. Okay? Oh, well, I haven't been feeling well about this or doing this, so I need to do the opposite. I don't know what to do, so I'm going to Google this or go to the library, find a book about it, watch some YouTube videos about how to do this. Oh, this person does this really well. I'm going to go talk to them, find out what they do, incorporate some of their habits and ideas into my routine, into my habit. Okay? Then you're going to put that plan in place and you're going to practice. 20, 21 days, 5 to 6 weeks, whatever time frame for you, because patterns take practice. And you're going to have patience when developing the new practice and patience with yourself. Okay? If you spill a little milk, you don't go to the gym, whatever, one day, you don't beat yourself up about it. You go, all right, a little spilt milk, no problem. I'm not going to spill the whole gallon. Get back up on the horse, put me back in, coach. I'm ready. We're going to try again. Okay? Babies don't learn how to walk day one. First they crawl, then they kind of use things to help them lift up, right? Then they take a couple steps. They stumble, they fall on their ass. They don't tell themselves how awful they are or what a loser they are. They're just like, fell down, get back up. Okay? Try again. So you're going to plan, you're going to put it in place, you're going to have patience to develop the new pattern, and then you're going to reflect. How does this make me feel in the moment and over time? But really pay attention to that over time answer. Because some things will feel bad in the moment, but over time, they make you feel great. Some things in the moment make you feel great, but make you feel bad and less functional over time. So pay attention to that latter question. And then, if it's not working, after 5 to 6 weeks or whatever, give it 5 to 6 weeks. Give it that 21 days, though, of being consistent. And then, if it's not working, try tune up, putting a little different spin on it yourself. Then give it another 21 days, 5 to 6 weeks, whatever, with the tune-up. And if that's not working, then the overhaul, bring in some help, some support, a team, which I talk about in highest possibility states too, the different members you want on your team. And then if that's not working, you take a timeout, do a little bit more reflection, and maybe you do a little bit more research, and you trade it in for a new pattern to see if that will help you. Okay? I hope that this talk has helped someone today so that you can use your own uncomfortability, your own habits that help get you through uncomfortable moments to first help yourself and then help others around you. Because now, more than ever, the world needs to move through these uncomfortable moments, patterns, and habits so that we can let go of the things that are holding us back to propel first ourselves, then others around us, then our communities, and the world forward. Peace and blessings.